Oriel, Jesus. Attention. Go!
And the college men's race underway. Very strong start indeed from Oriel, pounding away, and already they've taken the early lead, racing a couple of higher, looking very strong and sweet. 40 strokes a minute I've got from Oriel, and they've already taken half a length lead ahead of Jesus, who are playing catch-up at these very early stages, but the momentum in the Jesus boat, in fact, a higher rate from Jesus, but a little bit more of a scrappy start there. They're still at 42, and if Oriel were determined to go for the early break, well, they still have the advantage by just over half a length, just halfway down the steward's enclosure. A little bit of a delay on the start, as you would appreciate it. I was talking about the wind conditions a little earlier. They've been from the northeast the last couple of days, and when you've got wind against stream like that, it can produce lumpy conditions down Henley Reach. The wind has swung round to the east overnight and has moderated a great deal, but it did mean that the bows of the Jesus boat in particular were swinging around, and the Jesus Cox, Alessandra Bitente, not quite confident that the bows of her boat pointing in the right direction. Well, Dave Hancock, the umpire, now kept very busy because Jesus swung right over towards Oriel. Jesus, who are still down, but their stroke side blades looked in danger of possible physical contact with the bow side blades of the Oriel boat, but the Jesus Cox now responding to Dave Hancock's instructions, now back on station as we pass the picturesque little wooden bridge here on the towpath side and move down stream level with Remenham Club. Remenham Club, just over 100 years, very much a feature of the Henley course. Once again, the umpire's flag is up. Further ground, and once again they're having to push hard as we move past Upper Thames. We're now 2.5 minutes into this college men's race, and it's still Oriel with the advantage, being cocked very cleverly now. Really good, strong, straight course. Betsy Jones really with her eye on that a win here in the college men's race, and once again they're being warned. Now the umpire's flag was raised vertically, then he chose in favour of Oriel. It's the Oxford men who are now being warned to steer over towards the inside of the slight bend here, just off Fawley Court, just to give the Jesus men room to move, but Jesus flagging a little now, and as we approach the Fawley marker, the halfway course of the Henley Boat Racing course, passing the picturesque cottage of Old Blades, it looks as though Oriel College are going to have clear water advantage now and break clear of the Cambridge opposition. Very nice, neat blade work from the Oriel men. I've got them currently at 34 strokes a minute, and Jesus know that they're going to be dropped, and they've gone for a push, and they're at 36 and closing once again, and once again there's a risk of physical contact between the blades. I wonder just how long the umpire is going to leave it like this before he warns, but in fact Oriel has moved over slightly to allow Jesus to come through if they've got the power and the application to do just that. They have not allowed the Oxford men to create the overlap. Once you get a clear water advantage in a two-boat race like this, then it not only gives you the physical edge, it gives you the psychological advantage, and Jesus are determined not to let that happen. And their red and black blades now pounding into the water, 36 strokes a minute, still a couple of pips higher than the rate that Oriel were putting in, but Oriel have had to respond. They raised from 34 to 35, and they're still just less than a length in it. Jesus really now building for the big finish as we approach the top end of Temple Island Meadows. The finish clearly in sight now, less than 150 metres. Don't forget the college race finishes at 17:50, and there's all to play for now, and I think Oriel are going to hold on to this one. I think it's too little too late from the Jesus men, who looked as though they were really building for a big second half as we came down towards the 17 finish. And it's going to be Oriel College, Oxford, crossing the line here. The signal has not yet been given, just a few strokes left. I think there's some confusion there about where the finish was, but I don't think it affects the result materially there. But the unofficial result, a win there for Oriel ahead of Jesus.
Good race, guys. The first horn you heard there, Jesus, wasn't the finish horn, so sorry about that.